Good day and welcome to this week's Money Moment. I'm your host, Mauritz Oberholzer. This week I will be discussing gap cover. This is a topic that I get a lot of questions about and I think there's a lot of confusion. So I will discuss things to look out for and also what gap cover is and what you are covered for if you have gap cover. So gap cover is a supplementary insurance product designed to cover the financial shortfall between medical practitioner fees and medical aid payouts. It helps individuals avoid unexpected out-of-pocket expenses for medical treatments and services that's not fully covered by the primary medical aid plan, providing enhanced healthcare protection. I always explain it to my clients as you must look at it more in a hospital context and not on your day-to-day context, because there are some plans that only offer cover in hospital and not out of hospital on a day-to-day basis. Some plans do differ, so they offer a bit more cover on certain areas, but mostly you should think of it as a product that covers you for the gap in hospital. I always explain it as your healthcare practitioner in hospital charges 200 or 300% above medical scheme rates, and you have a medical aid plan that covers 100%. Thus the difference, let's say 100%, is for your own pocket, and that's where gap cover will come in and pay. Gap cover will never pay for something that your medical aid is not at least paying towards as well. I thought it would be a good idea to maybe list 10 things you should consider before purchasing gap cover in South Africa. Number 1 would be to understand your medical aid policy. I know it's a very technical thing, but you must have at least a basic understanding of what you have covered and what not. So before you buy gap cover, thoroughly review your medical aid policy, familiarize yourself with its cover limits, exclusions and benefits. Knowing these details will help you to identify the gaps that may arise in your medical expenses and guide you in choosing the appropriate gap cover plan. Gap cover provider reputation is number 2. Research the gap cover provider's reputation and history in the market. Look for customer reviews, ratings and testimonials to gain insight into their service quality, claims processing efficiency and overall customer satisfaction. Number 3 would be affordability and premiums. Gap cover premiums can vary significantly amongst providers. Compare different plans and assess the affordability based on your budget. Remember, opting for the cheapest option may not provide adequate coverage, so strike a balance between cost and benefits. The waiting periods is number 4. So most gap cover policies have a waiting period before certain benefits become active. Check these waiting periods carefully to know when you can claim for specific medical expenses. Pre-existing conditions is number 5. So be aware of any pre-existing conditions that might affect your coverage. Some gap cover plans exclude coverage for pre-existing conditions, while others might provide partial coverage after a waiting period. Number 6 is the coverage limits and benefits. Examine the gap cover plan's coverage limits and benefits. Ensure they align with your needs and expectations. Some policies might have sublimits for certain treatments, so understanding these restrictions is crucial. Number 7 is the claim procedures and documentation. Understand the gap cover claim procedure and the required documentation. A smooth and straightforward claim procedure will save you from unnecessary hassle during an already challenging time. Some medical aids have their own gap covers and then they just claim from each other, so that makes it really easy. You don't even have to fill in any forms. They alert each other amongst the different departments and they sort out the claims internally, so that's always a good thing to look at. Number 8 is exclusions and limitations. Thoroughly read through and comprehend the exclusions and limitations of the gap cover plan. Different policies may have varying exclusions, so make sure you understand what will not be covered. Number 9 would be family coverage. If you have a family, consider a gap cover that provides family coverage. Evaluate the costs and the benefit of covering your entire family under one policy versus individual policies for each member. Lastly, number 10, comparing multiple providers. Don't just rush into buying gap cover from the first provider you come across. Take the time and compare multiple providers, the plans, the value they offer. Doing so will enable you to make an informed decision and find the best fit for your unique needs. I would suggest talking to a financial advisor or a medical aid broker to make sure you make a great informed decision. It can be very complicated and there are so many gap cover providers in South Africa, so it would be hard to go through every single one of them. So make sure you talk to someone who is working with those products on a daily basis. That's it from this week. Thank you for joining us. See you next week, same time, same place.